back, ladies and gentlemen. It's my final show here on the sports page. Johnny Samp, Chandler Brindley.
Hey.
And Corey Sparks, none other. As we have a wonderful evening on your evening drive for some sports page action here on 90.3 WRST FM Oshkosh, your favorite station for all you can get Titan sports. As they had a busy week in athletics, the football team came out with a big win, winning 43-36. As we saw Kobe Berghammer go first against UW Stout. We saw Kobe Berghammer go 17 for 29, 240 yards with 4 tutties. So quite a game for Mr. Berghammer, and I believe he was a Titan Athlete of the Week, according to the Titan Athletic page. And he has been playing well. He's been playing very good football. And taking a look at the rushing game for the Titans, Berghammer himself had 13 carries for 189 yards and 1 touchdown as well. Gerhardt came in with 18 carries, 127 yards, and a touchdown. 4 Titan receivers in the game, as we saw Steger, Tetzloff, and Kasubuski and McCudden with touchdowns. So a productive game through the passing. And it's a good sign for the Titans as they have their final couple games of the regular season coming up. One versus Point, that's this weekend. And then River Falls next weekend, both at home. So they should be good games to watch as both sides are playing very good, or they're playing very good football. And then the offense fell off as they didn't score the entire second half. And they watched the Eagles stack up 23 points. So not a very good showing. Passing-wise, Berghammer was 12 for 32 with 204 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown as well on his day. As, you know, he can be a productive player. And then we look in the rushing category, we see McCudden with 11 carries and 52 yards, and Mac Winkler 5 carries, 15 yards, and 1 touchdown. Trey Tetzloff also got 7 catches for 84 yards. Yeah, the Titans' just fundamentals have been struggling lately. And I mean, I'm putting that lightly for a team that I think we expected a lot better. They're just not playing quite. I mean, not to say that they're playing bad. It's just either everybody else is playing really good, or we're just, having a troublesome start to the season. And we did have a tough start with, La Crosse and Whitewater, Platteville back to back to back. But yeah, he was a phenomenal running back. He had some good yards, and he knew how to run in between the tackles, outside the tackles, and right up the middle. Mm-hmm. He was a solid player nonetheless, but, he didn't have as great of a day as I think he was hoping to have.
Oh, for sure.
What if you double clubbed?
He got flagged.
You couldn't grab anybody? You wouldn't ever get called for holding if you double clubbed.
No grip, right?
Yeah, that's right. Just straight clubs. And it's just their offensive production just comes to a halt. I don't know if teams figure it out or if they get a warm cup of milk during halftime. So I think we definitely need to control the time of possession a little bit better. I know we like our 1 play, 1 touchdown, which is nice, but it wears out our D, unfortunately. Get comfortable with his arm and his legs. So he's spreading the ball out. He's making the field a lot more difficult. 3, 4, or 3, whatever. They're dropping 8, and they're bringing 3 up in the front and just absolute pressure.
See that?
And they seemingly folded like lawn chairs in that game.
What else can he do? There's probably other things that I haven't seen.
I'm pretty sure he's a good singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something, the ladies like that.
Everybody likes that.
I like that.
Karaoke nights on Fridays. Good time. But let's talk about the Titan offense. What did you think of that in the second half? They're all just sharing the ball, and you're finding different names in the scoring column every week.
Yep.
I mean, their only 2 losses were versus Central College, which is in Iowa. Mm-hmm. That was a 1-0 game. And then North Central in Illinois, which it was a 3-2 game in double OT. So really just a solid team playing at a very high level. I can't emphasize that enough. I mean, what do they got as a record? 13-2-1?
Yeah.
And that's typical of soccer. I think that's part of the main reason why most Americans don't watch it that frequently is just it's a long game that only gets 2 or 3 goals. And I know some people like the suspense. I'm not a big fan of it. Mm-hmm. I'd rather just see something happen.
Yep.
But, because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, those are not fun. Yeah.
And it's oh man, I wasted an hour and a half at least. I mean, if you want to see a shutdown defense, that's Titan soccer. So I give a lot of credit to them because my workout routine, usually I skip the old cardio.
The cardio, yep.
I look at the treadmill and go, nope, not today. Well, I don't know with soccer. Maybe come out kicking.
There you go.
Swinging's baseball, maybe golf.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Starting with Oshkosh, of course, as the Oshkosh men's had a huge win, especially for me, against North Central College with a score of 91-67. The reason I say it was for me is because North Central College is the team that they lost to prior to the COVID-19 pandemic beginning, and that was my final game before COVID started, and it came at in the NCAA tournament, and it obviously impacted the broadcasting field quite a bit. But Borchard had 25 points in the game. He was dominant down low in the paint. They're pulling up like you're playing 2K, just dribbling down the court real light, and then just all of a sudden pulling up when nobody expects it.
Shoot it from the edge of the circle there on the half line. Yep.
Yeah, because there was one, I forgot who it was, but his back foot was on the front of the Titan logo.
2 solid victories.
3 if you look ahead.
Elmwood too, yep.
Yeah, 78-46. So the women's team
nothing but positive.
Just putting in buckets, and that's what we kind of expected here at this station, as they're supposed to be one of the better teams. And she could block just about everything.
No kidding.
Fly swatter.
Big 10.
Yep.
How tall was she?
She was marked at 6'4", but she was a lot bigger than anybody else who was marked 6'4" on the roster. So not very productive on the offense. And we kind of saw that on Saturday, the offense struggle.
Very much so, yeah.
And I just wonder if, they got to kind of open the floor plan, I think, a little bit. And I think that's got to happen through transition basketball. And 155-49, Ava Douglas led in scoring in that one. 13 points for her, so good for her. A little bit overused.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like me shooting threes, dead on. No, I'm kidding. Don't miss. But so Badgers football came up with a big win versus Illinois. And I hate to say that it's a big win because it's Illinois. Big win, but it was a win in the sense that it was big because it's the Badgers this season. Mm-hmm. A 30-13 scoreboard over Purdue and upset. Mertz, 5 of 8, 52 yards. Not very exciting. Malusi and 27 carries, 149 yards, 1 tutty. And Ferguson had 2 catches for 23 yards. So everything was through the run game. So do you think Paul Christ still may be on the hot seat? Because I feel like he's having this troubling season, and, beating Illinois, not that like woohoo of a game. Like nobody's throwing a parade to beat Illinois. It reminds me of the Mud Dogs coach in the
water boy.
Water boy just kind of sits in the sideline and real quiet. I mean, not to say he's a bad coach, but he doesn't get. You never see him rushing to the sideline, yelling barking things out.
Right.
He's always real mild tempered.
You
can't lose to Michigan. Not at home.
No,
on Barry Alvarez Day and.
By 21, too.
Oh, my. And then you got to see Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Oh, yuck.
Gross.
The khakis.
Yeah.
No.
The legendary khakis.
The khakis. I would say legendary.
I think they're his staple. I don't know about legendary, but he
hasn't won anything significant.
That's true.
Absolutely hate the go blue. I hate it more than the Badgers offense. Because they don't even wear blue half the time. They have white on, and it's only one color in their whole color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
This is just sad. Northwestern Wildcats 1-2, Badgers 1-2, Illinois 1-3, and then the Cornhuskers 1-4. But we're behind the Boilermakers. And of course, the Golden Gophers come out of their little holes, and
they did it.
It wasn't whack-a-mole that day; it was whack-a-badger.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
They certainly did. And Minnesota starts out red hot out of the gate. The Gophers come flying. They're like flying squirrels.
Yeah, honestly.
Rather than just like regular squirrels, or even less a gopher who doesn't even climb trees. He just digs for little grubs, and then he goes back in his hole.
Yep. A rather passive animal.
Have you seen a gopher?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good size.
It's not like intimidating at all.
But he gives them the stink eye. That's what it's all about. Are they still going to run the same thing? They usually run the Badger offense, hand the ball off, jam it right up the middle.
I like that.
It's no secret, he says. Yeah, they just jam it down like when you clog the toilet at your girlfriend's house and you're just trying to get that thing to go down. That is exactly what it looks like. Because you don't want to walk out and say, honey, there's a bit of a problem in the facilities. Oh, God. You could put a mountain goat out there at running back. And he would do perfectly fine
he'd do
because he's
fine.
just going to run right into the big old pile of people.
But yeah.
And then it's like when they go up against somebody from a different conference, it's like, oh my God, the offense opens up and they're just throwing bootlegs down the field for 40 yards. And it's like, well, that's not Badger football.
Nope.
Yeah, I wanted to see Graham Mertz be able to run the offense and throw deep passes down the field and just absolutely scorch defenses. And my wishes did not come true for Badger football but they are looking like the real weasel that a Badger is.
Yeah.
Just like a Wolverine. Wolverine's a weasel. Part of the weasel family. Northwestern mascot was, and I was like, I have no idea.
His name is Willie the Wildcat.
Oh, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible, and that deserves a crowd boo. Willie the Wildcat?
I always call
What
him
is
the
this, a children's book?
I always
Maybe his family in the UP. Like, the UP is connected to Wisconsin people. Let's understand that.
Honestly.
Just the tip touches Michigan.
Might be some bandwagons now. That might be the majority of them.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. And then they're
Like, the Big Ten champions going to the college football playoff. It's not Ohio State.
Then you hear "Go Blue" everywhere you walk around.
Across the lake I go.
Go Blue. Either or, whoever wins, as long as they all play nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Just like the mother used to say when you went outside, go play tackle football. Play nice, and somebody would get mad. And then you start throwing the football at each other.
Yeah, take it a bit too far.
Yeah, because somebody tackled funny. It was never ended well.
No.
Especially if there's a bigger kid.
Oh, yeah. Give it like 30, 45 minutes, and all it takes is something to happen that rubs somebody the wrong way, and it's over.
Yeah, they always show in the commercials, like the Wrangler jean commercials, like people all happy. Like, that's never how it is.
That was the first 5 minutes of the game, if anything. But beyond that.
If that, then it became a blood sport in the backyard, and your mom's yelling to come inside. But that was my childhood.
Still in the red zone
you hear
trying
the
to get
screen
in.
door open, you're in the red zone.
Yep.
And mom yells that the lasagna's ready.
Yeah.
And we had a weird guy in the hot tub say he was from Wisconsin, and he claimed he was Frank the Tank, the original Frank the Tank.
I would agree with that.
We take a look at the Packers. The Packers had a big win Thursday, beating Arizona 24-21 in the desert against a previously unbeaten Cardinals team. Crosby was 4 for 7. And that wasn't very good. But my thoughts on the game is the Packers, they got their bad game out of the way. And they had one a couple years ago, I said, as I called my parents, against the Chargers, where they just blew it. And it was just like, okay, we shouldn't have been beat by this team, but we were. And that was that season where we really actually kind of got lucky quite a bit. Let's just remember he put up 47 yards or whatever. The whole Bears offense put up 47 yards the week before. So let's not get too hyped. The Packers beat the Bears. Sparks is sad because his man, Justin Fields, could not pull it off.
Yeah, he looked all right. He looked okay.
There's always participation awards.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's going to be A-Rod Rodgers, baby.
Oh, no.
A-Rod Rodgers. Another planet. I think Aaron Rodgers came from another planet.
I'm going to miss it when he leaves because it's just...
Doesn't get the recognition because he trims his toenail on.
Oh, that was weird.
Is on television.
That was weird.
It doesn't matter if you're weird. If you can play ball, we'll take you. Remember Greg Jennings when he was in Green Bay?
Yeah.
He looked so good, and then he went to Miami and then Minnesota.
Yeah.
And he looked average at best.
I remember. He had Favre and Rodgers, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you make a valid point there. Yeah, most definitely. I agree with you 100%.
Rodgers can definitely make any receiver look good.
I'm just saying...
Just Swiss cheese. It's like a Pop Warner team out there.
Like Swiss cheese.
Randall Cobb, old man Cobb.
Oh, don't do that to him.
Oh, it's true.
Oh, I love Randall Cobb.
See, there's the sentimental aspect of it. He's just like Rodgers. He doesn't need a foot. Aaron Rodgers isn't the greatest quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
I mean, of course he is. Sparks even knows that.
Him and Brady. I'd say Brady deserves a lot of credit.
Talent-wise,
though? Rodgers, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Finally, somebody admits the truth.
I hope so.
I think it'll be like a pack of wolves. Everybody knows that Rodgers is leading that team.
Yeah.
And everybody else, even Devontae, he understands his role there. And he understands that if Rodgers is out, is he really going to be that first guy in the locker room?
Oh, absolutely.
King was out. Not that matters. I mean, he could be out and...
It's America's team, though.
It is not.
It's not. It's not America's team.
I would say majority of Americans do not like the Cowboys. Because when you run too much, I always say this, is that in the college football, there's going to be guys that miss tackles. In the NFL, there's going to be guys that don't miss tackles.
Yeah, 100%.
But taking a look at the Packers, best team touched the pigskin. But yes, I think the Packers win the North. Of course, because they're the Packers. And they're going to win the North for as long as I live. It's a theory on turnovers.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, how you handle it, just right there. You're like, oh, that happened.
Yeah, it just does.
It just does. He handed it to Buda Baker, and
in other words, in other news, the sun came up this morning. Like, that's how common it is now. Like,
see,
they just
in
always do
Packer
it.
Nation, and my cheeseheads out there can vouch for this. It's like a big deal. There's a turnover. Yeah. Oh my goodness, we're talking about cutting them. You see a Lions fan on campus, you don't even make fun of them. you just let it go.
You leave it alone
because you're like, it's tough enough for them.
Mm-hmm.
Sparks, if I see you in a Bears jersey, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah,
or if I see a Vikings fan, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah,
but the Lions, it's like, well, it's just like, I'm sorry. You feel bad for them. It's like play 60 kids out there versus NFL.
Yeah, I'll give their fan base credit. Whoever has stayed.
Oh, if you stuck with the fan base, you are a true fan.
Yeah,
and you could cheer on a snail in a horse race.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's clearly what it is. Oh my goodness! It was a revival in Detroit. Because the Pistons are no good. The Detroit Tigers are no good.
Yeah,
and then the Red Wings aren't very good either.
Like
we just said, the Vikings are like the Cowboys of the North.
It's yes,
yeah,
yes.
As we see them, they got to take down these cheating Astros though, and the Astros are going to find by any means find a way to win. The cheating line, no good, very bad Astros. Do we need to take some pressure off Giannis? He's kind of the center focus, and I get he's the all-star.
So you want like better guard play?
Just somebody. The scoring needs to be kind of. If you look down on their lines, it's always Antetokounmpo, all the way.
Look at the individual scoring from Saturday night
at the line, and in the last three, Giannis was the top scorer. But do you think they need to kind of spread that offense out a little bit? I think they maybe Holiday listened to the song from High School Musical, "Get Your Head in the Game."
They definitely did. Yep.
Definitely
in the
did.
Locker room pregame.
They listened to us, and then they listened to High School Musical,
and they were just ready. Yeah.
And now the Bucks look like they're back in playoff fashion. It's too much ego for one locker room, and I think Russell Westbrook is the wrong guy to bring in. He carries a heavy ego.
That is it.
If he doesn't get the ball, he get his triple double. It's pout fest for Westbrook. I always think. I think it's a big old, and that's what I'm going to say about that.